What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here. Let's see. Anybody gonna join here? I think I have the comments. There we go. Comments are open. How's everybody doing? We're wrapping up 2022. And I got this package from my comic bro, Namman. Namman. Yeah. How you doing, Namman? And I've got a small haul from Half Price Books. It was a pretty good haul, surprisingly. I didn't think I'd pick up more books. Well, I knew I was going to pick up some more books, but I didn't think it would be this good of a haul. I was actually kind of surprised. So I guess we'll start with the haul and then we'll get to the unboxing. But I hope everybody had a good holidays. Definitely it was a good Christmas here. We just got Leo a bunch of gifts. So that's my son. We got him a bunch of gifts. And hey, Agu, what's up? Looking forward to connecting with you, man. Agu and I have just connected on Instagram, and it's gonna be it's gonna be all good. Looking forward to following his posts and meeting up with him. We're probably gonna go hit up some comic book shops and have some fun in the new year. So, yeah, I mean, it's up. You're free to come up if you want, if you're available. Yeah, come up. So again, I have just a 12-book haul to go over, the small haul. I do want to give a shout out to J Rule. J Rule is a comic book creator. I'm sure most of you are following different community members on YouTube. You know of J Rule. He is sort of the OG Half Price Books pickup, and in his most recent pickup, he found a Young Avengers, the first appearance of the Young Avengers team. I think it's a real key issue. It's like, anyway, I think it's Young Avengers #1, right? He found that in just a pile of books there for half off. I couldn't believe it, and he had a lot of really big pickups in that haul. So that was, for me, was like a great. Hey, Metarog, what's up? Was a great video to watch and very inspirational, because that gives me hope that can happen to me as well. To run into a big book like that. I mean, that's like it looked like a really good grade copy, but I mean, that's like at least a $500 book. If he gets it slab, probably more. So that was huge. Actually, probably closer to a $300 book raw, but slabbed like 500 and up. To find a book like that at Half Price Books for what you probably got for like $1.50, maybe $2 at most, is quite remarkable. So shout out to J Rule. But I gotta say, J Rule, you may be on top now, and you've been doing it for longer than I have, and so I definitely look to you as somebody who I model myself after. And you definitely have shown me the path to take in terms of comic book collecting, and I can really attribute my collection, my pickups this past year, by following kind of your methodology. Yeah, and so, but I'm telling you, J Rule, I'm coming after you, man. I'm coming after you, and I'm gonna unfortunately unseat you. Hey, Namyan Young, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How's your week? How's your Christmas?
It was all right. It was all right. A little busy.
You're traveling, doing all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles,
Plane,
and
trains, and
and
automobile.
and holiday delays.
Yeah, plane, trains, and Uber.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, Metal got he's a okay too.
Yeah, so on our Christmas show, we paired people up. So if you don't know, if you were part of our broadcast and you didn't get paired up with someone, go to the video on Naman Hyung's channel.
Oh, I need to copy that link, by the way. Copy that stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I put in the comments.
I know
Uh,
it's in your comment, but
yeah, I paired everybody up. It's in the comments, so you can just go check out the comments.
put a comment
You're
on mine, and I'll just put a what do you call it? Pin. I'll pin it to the top.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Um, yeah, so if you want to go just check out that comment to see who you're paired up with. We're doing a not so hashtag not so secret Santa, and again, we've got like a budget limit, so we want to just kind of keep it like an office party, like friendly, not too big of a lift, kind of.
Chop
Uh,
and drop, and I we agreed to do it. So
Awesome, yeah. And I just sent out Metarog. So Metarog and I are paired up, and so I sent out his not so secret Santa package out this morning.
I haven't sent out yet. So
Yeah. Again, it's past Christmas, so that's why the not so secret Santa kind of works. The hashtag works because it's not only not so secret, it's also not so Santa because it's we're going to be well into New Year when people get around to doing it.
it's
But
all fake Christmas,
yeah, no pressure, no time limit. Just
fake Christmas, fake Santa, fake.
yeah, yeah. But it'd be cool to see people's videos and how sort of an end of the year, beginning of the year interaction. Speaking of interactions, Hyung, you sent me this nice little package here, and
Yeah.
we're going to get to that.
Okay.
But
Hold on. You do your thing. I'm gonna go get me a beer.
all right, do so. All right, we're gonna go over my little comic book haul here. 12
Let
books.
me see if I could remove myself for temporarily.
I'll just minimize you. You can just head out.
Okay. Yeah.
So I picked up 12 books. I paid $14.75 for these books. And some of these were even less than half off because half price books, they had an after Christmas sale where they took 20% off, um, additional everything off the store. So whatever you were buying was an additional 20% off. So the store was really bustling, a lot of comic book pickups. I anticipate they're going to kind of restack the comic book uh, area because they've got a lot of inventory that they kind of refill in slowly each week. But since a lot of purchases were made, I would anticipate around the new year they're probably going to restock everything, and looking forward to seeing what we can pick up in the new year. With that being said, we did pick up again 12 books, paid $14.75, which is about $1.20 per book. And we got some big ones. I think you'd be surprised by what we picked up. So we'll start here. This is a hot book right now, I gotta say. Avatar just surpassed 1 billion in box office ticket sales. 1 billion. I would call that a pretty successful venture. It even surpassed Top Gun as the highest grossing international film. And we're only 14 days in. And so I've been hearing a lot of good reviews about Avatar, and I picked this up for 25 cents. It's the first appearance of Avatar in comic books. It's a free comic book day giveaway. There's also the first appearance or a preview of Briggs Land, which just got optioned for a series, I guess. So this is a hot book right now. Not very high in value, but I anticipate it'll go up. Again, with the success of Avatar, Avatar 3 is coming. I'm sure this book is on a lot of people's radars for those who watch the film and want to pick something up. So got that, 25 cents, pretty good. So they had some, again, this is a free comic. Cheers, Young. They had some free comic book day, a bunch of free comic book day books.
Did you watch the Avatar movie?
Not yet. I watched the original. This is the first one.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the sequel. But I've watched scenes online, and it looks really good.
I like the first one, so I'm looking forward to the second one.
I did like the first one. Yeah, the first one was good, and this one's supposed to be better in terms of like the visual effects. It's supposed to be like
first one was fantastic.
Way better. Yeah. I mean, we're almost a decade removed from the first one, so we're talking about a decade's worth.
I'm not going to expect too much, though. I always get disappointed when I expect too much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's one of those movies where it's been a decade. I kind of forgot about it. I wasn't really when I heard it was coming out. I kind of wasn't like terribly excited about it. I was just like, oh, well, they finally got around to making a sequel. That's nice. But yeah, I think Avatar is definitely one of those movies where you have to see it on the big screen. Because it's not going to be anywhere near as spectacular. It's one of those movies that's made for watching it in like IMAX or Dolby Surround. It's one of those just cinematic type movies. So we'll have to see if I can get away and watch it with somebody. Maybe we'll watch it together, Young, when you get back to Seattle.
I don't think I'm going to wait that long, bud.
So
it's about a month, I think, before I get there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were coming back in January.
Yeah. I have to go take care of my mom in early February. So I don't know. Maybe I'll come up there. If I do come up, it's going to be for a few days only.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I have to come back immediately back to take care of my mom. My sisters are taking vacation, and I have to come back and go to New York. So,
okay.
I'm going to talk to my wife. What's she going to? We have to negotiate.
Sounds good. All right. Well, then keep me informed. Yeah. So they had a bunch of free comic book day books at Half Price Books, and they priced them all at $0.25.
All the free comic books were $0.25?
Yeah, they priced them at $0.25. And so I got this
switch this around.
Batman Long Halloween special edition free comic book day. I just love the cover there by Tim Sale. It is a kind of like a reprint of the Long Halloween, but it's a Halloween sort of special edition. Thought that was cool, so I picked that up. This next book I got for half a cover, so we picked it up for $1.50 plus a 20% discount. So it's picked it up for $1.25. And this is sort of like a spec buy, because everybody's sort of anticipating Dr. Doom to come either on screen through the Fantastic Four movie, or be the big bad in Secret Wars. I'm actually anticipating the latter. I think he's going to be the baddie for Secret Wars, and we're going to see God Emperor Doom. And so in anticipation of that, I picked up this great 6-book first number one in a 6-book miniseries on the origin of Doctor Doom, and we got a great cover by Paulo Rivera there of Doom.
Bill,
Hey, what's up, guys? So
Bill.
that was a nice pickup. This is actually surprisingly like a $30 book right now. And again, I think as we get closer to some of that Doom, the Doom announcement, this will be on everybody's radar. So yeah, I picked that up for $1.50. This next book is another sort of hot book right now because of the Daredevil Born Again series that's coming up on the Disney Plus channel. And I thoroughly enjoyed, I think it was 3 seasons or 2 seasons of the Daredevil when it was out on Netflix. I watched Punisher. I watched Daredevil.
Those series?
I was watching everything. I was watching Jessica Jones.
My goodness.
I didn't watch Iron Fist. I didn't get into Iron Fist.
Iron Fist sucks. Iron Fist is horrible.
I watched what was the other one? Luke Cage. And they all kind of melded, toward the latter parts of I think season 2 or something. They all meshed into one sort of crossover. It was really awesome to watch. But those are really like awesome like comic book
TV
like series. I've never seen a comic book.
I really like Jessica Jones at the beginning series. That was really good.
Jessica Jones is really good. Yeah. There's some pretty dramatic, intense moments in that, and I loved how they brought. Elektra and Stick and the Hand. Well, they didn't really. They were kind of they brought in the Hand, but anyway, they wrapped it up nicely with the death of Elektra, but Elektra dies, but she's revived by the Hand at the very end of that, and so it ends on this like cliffhanger, and then we never got to see the resolution of that, which is what was kind of rough about how that whole situation ended. But loved it.
Hey, Ben Compton.
What's up, guys? All right. So, but anyway, in anticipation of that series, I picked up the first Kingpin solo series. And this is also an origin story as well. So great cover art.
Wow.
I wish I knew who this cover artist was. Let me quickly look over and see what it is. The cover artist on this was Esad Ribic. Esad Ribic did this cover. Beautiful cover. And you got Spider-Man there swinging. So love picking up that. Speaking of bald baddies, we've got Lex Luthor, number 1.
He looks like a Kingpin over there.
He does look like a Kingpin, right? This is I don't know if that book cover looks familiar to you. Does it?
You know what it reminds me of? The It's Wonderful Life, that banker.
Okay. This is an homage to Donald Trump's book. What is it called? The Art of the Deal.
Oh, you kidding me?
This is the Art of the Deal cover, and he got Donald Trump, aka Lex Luthor, there.
Yeah. Okay.
This was a complete cover.
You got some Donald Trump's and NFTs.
Yeah, this was a Trump parody before Trump was kind of like, this was like back in the 90s, right? So this was a Trump parody before the whole before Trump became a. He was
a butt in a lot of people's joke even back in when he wasn't president.
That's true. But he wasn't. He's kind of like just a guy we didn't pay attention to, but when he made his presidential bid, that's when everybody started paying attention to him. Hyung, you're gonna like this. You picked this up recently, right? I picked it up as well. It's the Stephen King
That has a different
sketchbook.
color.
Oh no, it's the sketchbook.
Oh, it's a sketchbook.
You got
Not a comic.
Yeah, you picked this up at 25 cents. Remember?
Yeah, it didn't look like. Oh, is that the same thing? Is that
the same thing? It's a
Okay.
sketch. It's the sketchbook.
Mine looked different, but I do have a comic book with that cover on it.
Yeah.
That particular pose.
This is getting
I got
optioned for
I think
a
I'm
TV
missing
series.
over 100-some books, the series, and I'm missing about 5 to complete it. So
wow,
I got that one, issue number 1, so I'm good for that.
Yeah, this is the preview, sort of sketchbook preview before number 1, and it's one of those. It doesn't have a price, so it wasn't necessarily for sale. I think it was just a free like comic book day giveaway kind of thing. Picked it up for 25 cents. Nice. This is going to be I think a key book, because you probably heard with all the movie and the disappointment of the movie and all that.
They're going to make a Dark Tower series in Amazon.
They're going to make a Dark Tower season, and we got optioned. It's at least 3 seasons, they're saying. And I was saying from the beginning, it should have never been a movie. It should have been
it should have been series.
Yeah, because it's just so detailed. You really need the longer format to really do the story justice. And I could see it being like 10 seasons, to be honest, right?
You know what they need to do is make all the season, and then for the finale, they make the movie. After they get throw up the fan base,
do a Japanese style.
Go out bang with the big screen.
Yeah, do a Japanese style. That's how the Japanese do it. They put out the anime in TV serials first, and then they do a big movie at the end. So that's, I think, the perfect. You bring up a good point, Young. That's the way they should approach this particular Gunslinger series, or sorry, Dark Tower series. All right, the next couple ones are just cover buys, really. I think all the ones here from here on out are all cover buys. They're really
Bill.
So again, I got this one for $0.25. Just forget to mention, then they got this one for $1.25. I picked up this one for $2.
Nice.
All right, and this one we got for $2. This is one where they actually priced it out because it's a 75-cent cover, and it's this amazing Art Adams cover of Emma Frost. Ooh. Isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful cover there. New Mutants 39, newsstand edition, Emma Frost. So I picked this up for $2. Happy to do so. It's just a cover by beautiful Art Adams art there. The White Queen Emma Frost cover. Yeah, she's looking very ominous there.
Cool.
There's that light coming through. All right. So next one is also covered by. There's a free comic book day. There's the Adam Hughes, Betty and Veronica. 25-cent pickup. Anytime you can get Adam Hughes on a cover is nice. Yeah. But when you can get Adam Hughes interiors as well, it's even better. So this is
interior too.
He did the interiors as well.
Yep. Is that a like reprint of some other comic book, or is that
it's a preview of this series, and they gave it out as a free comic book day, and it also came out as like an actual number 1. So it's sort of a reprint of the preview. Actually, it's the preview of the number 1, and they're the exact same. They're the exact same books. Yeah, Rob Liefeld took over in the next issue of New Mutants. So this is sort of, I guess, the last before Liefeld starts doing the covers.
I'm a fan of Rob Liefeld.
New Mutants.
I just don't like his art. I'm sorry. I mean,
Well, I mean, you're not
it's a
alone. You're
subjective
not
thing.
alone. I
I admire his talent, but I don't like his art.
I will say though, what back in the day when I was collecting
I guess
Liefeld,
Roger
I
doesn't
did
like
like
it either.
Liefeld's art because
Mhm.
I was in high school when he was coming out, and I did like his art, and I was a big fan of his. But as I've gotten older, I got to agree with you, Young. You kind of like you don't focus on like the artist you think is like cool, but as you age, you kind of have a like your artistic tastes change, right? And I think yeah, there are a few artists that over time I've started to not appreciate as much, and there are artists who I didn't appreciate back in the day whom I've gained an appreciation for. So Liefeld's one of those where my interest in him has waned. John Romita Jr. is an artist whose art I've gained a much appreciation for. I think, I don't know why I didn't think his art was great when I was younger. I'm thinking it's amazing now, but
Don't pollute the air, Roger. Don't pollute the air.
all right. So this is another cover by.
Oh yeah.
Got this for $250. This is a $4.99 cover price, so I got $250 at Half Price Books. And this is a Peach Momoko Baby Grogu cover. So anytime you have a Peach Momoko cover, I gotta get it.
Yeah, she's a
I
wonderful
gotta
artist.
get it.
I like
I
her.
love her. She's just amazing. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got a couple more books left, and then we're gonna get to the unboxing. So we have here Infinite Crisis #2. This is the George Perez variant. I really like this Infinite Crisis series,
Mm.
mainly because Jim Lee did all the covers for it. But yeah, I gotta agree with you. Not just John Romita Jr., but any artist, right? Any artist needs a really good inker for their art to really.
Jim Lee and Scott Williams is a
They're perfect for each other.
perfect match.
And that's the thing. They work in tandem on everything. They're just kind of like fused at the hip now. Anyway, pick this up. It's a George Perez variant. Infinite Crisis #2. Pick that up for half a cover. This next one, it's been on my want list for a long time, and I've just never run into a copy on my comic book hunts. But it finally made my way. It made my way. Unmyung. It was an Unmyung pickup. So we were fated to be together, and it's finally part of my collection now. And we have Black Adam,
Ooh.
Justice Society of America 23. Great Alex Ross cover of Black Adam there. Love that book. And again, got this for $1.50. So good pickup there. And the last book, again, I picked this up most really after it was part of the after Christmas sale. So I got it for $1.20. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I did a double take when I saw this book, and I was like, wow, this is a big book. We have to pick it up. And it's the Jock cover, Detective Comics 880.
I have that copy somewhere lying around.
Beautiful Jock cover
I
there.
think it came from one of those.
This has also been on my want list for a long time.
You got to have
clean. It's a real clean copy too. I mean, it's something we could go get slabbed, and it'd come back, near mint. So that's something we may do at some point. I may even try to get it signed by either Scott Snyder or somebody. It's one of those books that would look good with a signature somewhere in black ink right there. So, great. All right, so that's my haul again. In terms of value, I estimate about $21 value per book on this haul. And we only spent again $14 on 12 books.
Hopefully, you got
14.75.
some spec books there. I
Yeah,
think.
there's some spec books in there as well. Yeah, and Avatar again. First Avatar doesn't hurt. Avatar seems to be a global
I mean, the immediate spec is
phenomenon.
well, Avatar. Avatar sort of people going to find out its movie's already out, so there's not much speculation going on. But it
But
still might get a good. I mean, it
but
still
the
might.
thing is, no one was specking on the comic book because the
Yeah,
comic book's not so popular. It's a free comic book day book.
yeah,
It's I mean, it's not really, and I'm sure it's got a pretty hefty print run, but you know, because of that, because no one collected it, it's probably in a lot of 25-cent bins. It's not bagged or boarded, and it's
yeah,
again, so like once demand for that book goes up with
yeah.
with
But
the
I
success of
just
the
don't
film.
think free comic books are going to make a spec book unless we reach that 2020, 2019, 2020.
Yeah,
That.
yeah, but hopefully it'll reach $20. That's all I'm expecting from it. All right, so there's a card here from you, Young. Thank you for the holiday
Oh yeah, you opened it
card.
already. I'm glad you're not showing my packaging.
No,
I
this is
don't remember
beautiful
packaging
packaging.
was. I remember packaging $5-6, and I'm going. Do you have an Otaku Young comic book box? Did I package it right?
This is beautiful packaging. It's
Okay.
oh wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Oh, these are nice. Okay, all right. I see some of the books. That's nice. And then there's another.
Yours is fairly easy because some of the books I already told you what I was going to give you, and then some of the books were given by artists that we interview. So I just threw in
Yeah.
a couple books. Super Horror was a Metarog, but giving Metarog something he doesn't have. So
All right. I guess I'll start. Do you have a specific order I should do it in?
yeah, up to you, bud.
All right, we'll start with this amazing. I know what this is. So this is a John Boy Myers uh, volume 2. It's a book of his different prints,
He signed it, right?
and he signed it here.
Yeah.
Look at that. And John Boy Myers is just. I mean, we've talked about this. I've talked about that on the channel many times. He's just been killing it this year with.
I don't think he's going to come onto our show anymore.
Yeah, he's big time. I don't. He's probably very busy, and hopefully he does come on our show and he could talk about look at some of this beautiful design sketches. These are all his character design sketches there. Wow. And he's got prints here, cover prints, cover sketches. Look at that. That's just a sketch right there, and then he refines it. There's a spawn. Wow, this is just amazing. Thank you, Young. I love this book. We got a lot of spawn art here, spawn
Jumbo and I was
panel
so
work.
generous sending us those packages.
Yeah,
You one for me and one for the one of the winners in the.
hmm
I forgot who won that one.
Thank you, John Boy Myers. Oh, this is just absolutely amazing. Beautiful. Gonna leave you with an image here.
I'm sure
Leave you with a
we'll
Wonder
make
Woman
time.
image.
Oh, that's
Right.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
A beautiful Wonder Woman there. Beautiful. Yeah, dude. He's oh, there's an Angela there. I gotta go end on this one here. There's Angela
Yeah.
and the Batman. He in terms of his
Show
artwork,
the
I
picture in
mean,
the back. Show his picture in the back, just so everybody knows.
yeah. So this
Right,
is
right there. Yeah.
our boy John Boy.
Ah,
Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna have to take care of that bound book. All right, I'm just gonna kind of pick from the top here, I guess. Oh, we got continue on with John Boy. We got this awesome John Boy signed book right there. Star variant cover of Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters #3. This I think is the best cover out of all the Star Wars. Don't you agree, Young? His
that's
cover is
just
the
beautiful
best.
cover. The green and the red background and all that flares. Just it's
Yeah.
beautiful cover.
So basically, the way John Boy explained it to us, this cover is a post disintegration scene. He just disintegrated somebody, and he's walking through. He's walking through the disintegration.
Disintegrated body, whoever it was.
Yeah, whatever was there, the smoking gun and the flames and the fire. Beautiful sign cover there. Awesome, love it.
Dry blood.
Yeah. Next we have David Nakayama. Another amazing Spider-Man cover there. Signed copy of Obi-Wan. Love that one. Obi-Wan, Star Wars Obi-Wan #1, the Dave Nakayama variant. Love that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is a big one. Wow.
Greg LaRoque, he sent us a couple of books and
so wait, is this? Oh yeah, okay. So this is another kind of like sketchbook, right?
Yeah, sketchbook. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed copy of his Greg LaRoque sketchbooks.
Yeah, Roger got one. I sent Roger one.
Beautiful.
Oh, spoiler. Sorry, Roger.
Beautiful. Love it. Love that the Daredevil's on the cover too there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Ah,
That's the bonus for you, bud.
Nice. David Nakayama signed copy of Immortal Red Sonja. Beautiful. Love it.
That's the bonus.
That's a beautiful cover. That's a beautiful cover. I love the character design too on Red Sonja.
Yeah.
He kind of covered up.
I just had to buy that one. I just said, dang it.
This nice male.
When I was buying it, I'm going, okay, I gotta give my bud.
Beautiful. There's like a treasure chest with skulls around it. Beautiful cover. Love it. Oh, nice. Hyung, this is a comic book from my youth. The Web of Spider-Man is a series I had read as soon as it came out, pretty much, right? From issue 1 through the first, I want to say 10 or 12 issues. And Mr. LaRoque was a big part of the creation of this book.
Yeah.
And to have a signed copy at #2.
Yeah, signed copy.
That's his cover.
I thought about, reason I picked issue #2 because that's his cover. Issue #1 is not his cover.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked that. But I saw somebody signing issue #1 from him too. So I say maybe I should have changed my mind on that.
No. Issue #2 is the book. It's so much better. We want to sign on his signature on his cover. And you added the scary tales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Story on
Can
that
you
is that
can you give the background on this book?
yeah, well, Roger had told me, hey, this is the book, uh, and he told me about it, and he said, I got a reprint. I got the reprint, and I say, well, you got the reprint, so I wanted to. He showed me that cover, and he said, hey, you need to get this book because it's a Korean artist Kim Sano doing a horror story for Charleston. You need to get it, and I got it. And he told me he had a reprint, and I thought this was original. I mean, that's what Roger told me. It's Roger's fault. So I got that book, and now because I thought Roger had a reprint, I got an original. I was thinking I got the original, so I bought two of those. And hey, at this price I could buy two of these. Then Roger told me, no, 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 that's the reprint, and he found so we're looking at reprints. So I had to go out there and search for the original, but that was a leftover reprint that I was like, you know what? Roger didn't want it because he already had it, and I said, okay, I'm going to send it to my Korean bud. So that's how you got it.
So this is really interesting because on the cover you see the Kishin, the
Kishin, yeah,
Korean
yeah, yeah.
the Korean Kishin, and
But
she doesn't look scary in this one.
no,
She
no,
doesn't,
yeah.
she
Look at
her hair's
look
up.
at who's holding the leg and what that is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Myo,
yeah,
Korean grave.
yeah, yeah. It's a
Because
Korean
that's not
grave.
American grave.
They're all Korean
It's a
graves.
circular Myo.
Yeah, that is so interesting. This is like for Koreans, this kind of book it really feels like a Korean horror. I mean, I don't know if it would scare like an American, but if you are into Korean like horror, like what we listened to as kids and what we read in books or parents told us as like ghost stories, because that we would listen to ghost stories. These are essentially ghost stories, right?
Yeah,
Um,
actually it's called Ghost Tales at the original print. The
mhm.
original print is called Ghost Tales, and they did the reprint on a Scary Tales on a Charleston. So yeah,
Nice, love that.
and so it has a I think it might have a first picture of the turtle ship in a comic book.
So, what year was this printed in? It's a Bronze Age, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's the Bronze Age when it was
Yeah,
what is that, 40 cents? Is it?
40 cent.
The original is 20 cents, so almost Silver Age. I think that's still Bronze Age. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a wonderful story. I love that story. Roger got me into horror. I don't do horror stories, but Roger got me into horror story.
Yeah,
So
apparently there's like Korean language in it as well. You
yeah.
said, yeah,
Oh yes, that's it. That's one of the things. It has a Korean language and English. That's the first time I ever seen a comic book did that in
yeah.
one comic book.
So it's the first for those of you who are into collecting Korean pop stuff. I guess this is the first Korean comic book, first Korean language in comic books.
Hey, CP. Hey, Damien, how are you? Hi, Damien.
Awesome. So that's just like a backing board, I guess, and a
Yeah,
backing board. That's it. That
yeah.
looks to be it in the hall. Thank you so much for this uh, wonderful AOK, Hung. Man, these are like amazing books. I'm gonna just cherish these forever. Awesome books.
Yeah,
Love that one. Man, love that one.
I'll put in my CBW uh, because I promised Otaku Young that I was gonna bring my own personally made slabs, but it's gonna be called CBW slabs, but comic
Yeah.
book slabs.
So I had Hyung was gonna send me these books, and I said, Hyung, if you can you slab them because he makes Namyeon Hyung makes slabs. He like actually goes out and buys materials and puts them together, and they're really these like, UV proof with the
UV proof,
grades,
acid proof.
with the labels.
Yeah, and, yeah. So I put acid proof, UV proof, all that in there so that and
Yeah,
label it myself.
yeah, and they're beautiful slabs. And I asked him to slab the comics for me, but he just never got around to doing it. He was too busy to do it. But we'll get him to slab them when he's over here.
Yeah, I set up a lab in the apartment over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that'll be something we can probably do together or something. Any plans for New Year's, Young?
Um, I may do a video on what comic books I got this year on 31st. You want to do that together, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe anybody can. You just show off a few comic books that you got for this year. I mean, I'm definitely going to show off that what I got from. I mean, Roger suggested book, that one, the Korean one. I'll probably. But if I do that, I do have a January 3rd. I'm gonna go to Gary's 1011. You know what that is?
Yeah, he invited me to do 1011 as well. So I'm going to be on January 17th.
I'll be on January 3rd. So
Okay.
yeah, so I picked out 11 books. It may overlap. It may overlap with what I got this year, but
well, I mean, with the books you sent me here, these may end up on that list. To be honest, yeah. I mean, these are definitely going to be on. Some of these books are definitely going to be on that list. So looking forward to that.
Yo, be fit. Yeah. Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat.
New Year, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's everybody's comic book resolution for next year? Buy more books, buy less books, get a grail.
Too. Show off our books and tell us what's next year's plan.
Oh, mine?
I mean, that's what we could do on the 31st if we.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. So sort of, what is it? You need 12, 10-1-1. Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 books.
10-1-1, 12 books, which is harder than it sounds to whittle to narrow it down like that. I'm having trouble with the spec book. I mean, Young, what are some things you're specking on? I guess we could give a preview of your spec book, but what are some of the things you think that you're picking up that you think have value down the road?
I'm going to try to buy less modern and read my back issues. That's basically my. I gave up my modern books for back issues.
Yeah.
So that's my basic strategy, and then catch up on reading. Yeah. But my spec book. You want me to spoil it here?
No. I want you to talk about, in broad terms, what not your spec book. Don't share your spec book. I think you should save that for Gary's. But just some of the things you're specking on, like,
I don't spec much. Okay, I don't spec at all, actually. But I guess I do. I spec like I used to when I was a kid, and amazingly, all those comic books that I collected at one time or another, they made it TV movies, big cinema movies, and so on. For instance, when I collected X-Men. When I was collecting X-Men at the time, I don't know if you guys remember, Roger or Damien, was it X-Men popular during like 74, 75? I don't think
late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were, because they were reprinting the old issues and they come out with the new X-Men, and a lot of kids that I was collecting with, they like Justice League, Teen Titans, Legion of Superheroes, a lot of DC stuff, Avengers, Fantastic Four. But X-Men was like not something people collected. I loved X-Men at the time. So, but so I collected that series, and a lot of the books that I used to have, well, even that I have, are worth a lot of. I mean, not a lot, but it's worth quite a bit.
You talking about the John Byrne run?
Yeah, the from 100 to one, yeah, issue 100 to so on, right?
Wow, those are big books.
Yeah, but 101, I lost that one. So the yeah, X-Men was not popular, but I loved it. So yeah, during that time. So I like I collected John Carter, the warlord, right? And I uh, and he became a huge 9 million or billion, whatever, huge Disney movie. It still didn't help the book's value, but whatever I collected eventually became a movie, or the uh, I mean, nobody collected John. I even had like, I was at the time I had like 3 books. I bought three of them, issue number one. I bought the giant size issue number one, but movie came out and I was going, oh yeah. Then it flopped. Oh boo! Doc Savage. I was collecting Doc Savage. Oh, Doc Savage movie come out. It's gonna come out. Doc Savage, and then that that was a horrible, horrible movie. Of course, my favorite was Superman, and they had a awesome Superman movie came out, but there were too many Superman issues out there to have my books be worth anything. You know, a lot of comic books that I used to collect, even if they weren't popular at the time, became movies and TV series and whatnot. So I trust my younger self. So that's what I try. That's what I try to do. I want to see if I could just catch that magic that I had when I was younger, when I didn't even speak the language.
Yeah, just because a movie flops though doesn't necessarily mean, especially something like John Carter or something like what else was in that? You said uh, what was the other one? Doc Savage. Yeah, Doc Savage. Um, those are still like strong content for the comic books and the publishing companies, and they're going to try to rebrand and continue to create content off those original stories for new generations and new audiences. So again, uh, they'll just wait a few years and try it again. But those IPs are too valuable to really just write off, right? So yeah,
Yeah. So, like, I mean, um, I already told you. We already talked about uh, Stephen King. So there's a hint.
there you go. I mean, it's coming to Amazon Prime, right? And
Yeah,
I think they're
and
going to do it right this time.
if one thing about Stephen King books, even if a movie fails, they will reboot it. They will reboot it. And there are too many Stephen King fans out there for them to not reboot it.
Yeah,
So that, to me, that's probably uh, if you talking about long term, just don't rely on first movie, second movie. Eventually, you will hit it. You will
yeah.
hit the right movie. How many times they rebooted Stan? Like they
Three
had
times.
TV
They've
series.
done three versions of The Stand, right?
Yeah. So
They've also done 2 versions of It. They've done a TV movie version of It, and then a 2-part movie version of It, which looked terrifying. um, the movie, the most recent movie version, it looked terrifying.
so
The Pennywise scene.
so I don't guarantee the value of the books, but whatever the comic books that I collect, eventually they will become a movies and TV series.
Yeah,
Because I say about uh, even those books that weren't popular when I was collecting them, eventually became something. You know.
What do you think? Did you watch the Dune movie? Have you watched that? The the most recent Dune.
Oh, I love Dune series. I love Dune novels. I haven't collected comic books, but
Have you seen the movie
yeah,
though?
I seen the movie. Yeah, it was good.
Did you like it? Hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad they make a two-part series because it's hard to tell that Dune book in a one story.
Yeah, yeah. Really is sort of like I like how where they ended, right? They ended as he entered the Fremen, as he entered the Fremen collective, and he'll lead them to the revolution against the Harkonnens. And I actually didn't think so. Before the movie came out, I went and got the graphic novel. So I've read all of all of Frank Herbert's novels, and
Yeah,
of course, like
me too.
yeah, and we love the story, right? We love the story. Um, I actually like the original who's the director?
The first one, the one with
Yeah,
the
he did he did Twin Peaks. David Lynch. I like David Lynch's Dune.
yeah, it was a very what do you call it? It was a very memorable movie for me.
It had a lot of good actors, and again, it was dealing with the special effects that they could handle in the late 80s, which
I don't know, man. Metal Man, I think it would be pretty good. I think Metal Man, I think will be perfect heavy metal type movie. Even it has the same words in it. Yeah, Metal Man
it's a
will be.
great title. It's a great title. I
Yeah,
could see Metal Men, or yeah, I could see Metal Men being like a movie just as a title, right? Because sometimes these titles, it takes a great title to get people to watch a movie sometimes. And
you know what Metal Man reminds me of? If people were to make a Metal Man right now, it should be in a format like when what was that? The Queen made a soundtrack for the whole movie. Gosh, not Buck Rogers, but what's his name?
Flash Gordon.
Flash, Flash Golden, Flash Golden.
Was
They
that
make it
Queen?
just cheesy cheesy
That was
as
Queen
heck, put
soundtrack?
awesome music in there, and make it just corny as heck, and use all the words they use in there, like instead of AI, you know, use the words like the what was it, a conscience meter, or the what was that thing they call it?
Sensometer.
Sensometer, the use those kind of corny words in there that use back in the back in the 60s, and but have the technology of modern day,
Yeah.
don't call it artificial intelligence, call it this, what is it? I forgot what it's called, conscious meter. Do you know, Roger? Tell me, what was that meter called? Yeah, responsometer.
Responsometer.
Just call it responsometer. Don't call it
Responsometer.
AI. Just make it corny as heck. Put a awesome soundtracks in there, like from, like just like a Queen did for the Flash Golden. I think it will become a. If it doesn't become a hit, it will become one of those uh, what do you call it? Like a Flash Golden.
Like a B movie, yeah, like a
Yeah,
classic B movie.
yeah, classic B movie. Kill Raven. Now, uh, yeah, I think Kill Raven would be. I'm collecting Kill Raven now. I think Kill Raven would be pretty cool. That's a Martian. I mean, those Martian guys coming back. They already made two movies on it. One black and white. What's his name? Tom Cruise made a second one. I love the black and white movie, and I have the soundtrack. That soundtrack with the Richard Burton narrating the story. That soundtrack
Oh,
is
wow.
awesome. That soundtrack is awesome. I love that soundtrack. Yeah, cult movie. Yeah, that's what I'm. I think it would become an awesome cult movie. The Metal Man will become an awesome cult movie. Yeah, but
So kind of approach it the same way the comic books, you're saying.
huh?
Just make it just make it quirky and
Yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
cannot make a Metal Man serious. You cannot make
yeah,
Metal Man serious.
yeah,
But you gotta enjoy the fact how the how they phrase how they vision technology back in '60s. Make
yeah.
this 1960s technology, even if it doesn't make the sense in this era. Just like the first story is when the the not, this is an origin story, but the first issue was where there was this planet, right? There's a planet, and you got this planet is dumpster planet, and all
Uh-huh.
the technologies, robots, all news robots get dumped in there, and then some robot uh, develop a conscience, start building itself, trying to looking for the queen, trying looking. So he's trying to build a queen. He's failing it, but he's great at replicating himself. Just keep on replicating, and he finally finds a queen through some uh, uh, telescope, and it happens to be the what's her name, the Tina, the one of the Metalman's the female version of Metalman, and he goes, "She's my queen. That's it. We're gonna go to the planet Earth, and she's gonna become our queen." I mean, just put it out there like that. I mean, just just it doesn't matter if don't worry about time. Don't worry about having to travel.
Accuracy.
Don't worry about having to travel with the you know traveling between spaces, just like Star Wars movies. You don't care if we travel through space. You don't age, differently. We don't age differently. You just come here, and don't worry about none of that stuff. Just use 1960 sense of the, what the future technology will be like.
All right, so you heard it here first. Namyan Yang is predicting a Metalman spec comeback. So go out and get your copies of Metalman right now.
Yeah, good night,
You
Bill.
brought up Superman, and I'm glad you did because I love talking about Superman. And it seems like the DCU, which has been trying to get off the ground for some time now, but it hasn't really gained the kind of following and the love that the brand that Marvel's built. Now, Marvel obviously had a strategic plan in place way back when they first started. I think Iron Man was really the first sort of movie that kicked off the MCU, right? But they had some foresight into, or a vision around, how to bring these comic book characters, and they introduced a lot of sort of solo films, and then they started integrating these stories where they were making cameo appearances, and then you had the first full crossover series like Civil War. Anyway, we can go over what Marvel did right, but they did it, and they created this thing
Good night, Matt. Raj.
that's really kind of its own. I mean, it's pretty much Hollywood, right? Hollywood is now whatever Marvel Studios puts out is pretty much what Hollywood has become, in terms of its box office domination. And we're seeing that even this year, with the Spider-Man, the Black Panther movie most recently. That's where DC wants to get. So DC's kind of starting from the drawing board, and they brought in James Gunn. He's of the Deadpool. What was it? He's of the Suicide Squad. And what other movie did he direct?
did he do Guardian or no?
Guardian, yeah, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And so he had a lot of success with comic book movies, and now he's heading the entire studio of Warner Brothers DC content. So he's in charge of DCU. He's the vision. And what does he do? He meets with Jim Lee, and he says, Jim, we're gonna do we're gonna make this a collaborative, coordinated effort to bring DC Comics to the cinematic. So they're gonna, whereas they weren't doing this before, they're gonna stay truer to some of the comic book content, I think. So what do you think he should do with Superman? Where do you think?
I think he had the right idea. I think he need to go with the Jim Lee's design on Superman, because you can really I don't Jim Lee is not I don't think he did good job of managing the 52.
You 52?
Yeah, I mean I think there was some good titles in there, but and awesome design work in a lot of character design, but they didn't do a good job of tying everything together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But he does have excellent. Uh, he does have excellent taste in design, man. Character design, and I mean, look back at the X-Men, the cartoon series. It was based on his character designs, all those.
Yeah.
And see how successful they were. So, I think they need to go with his design, but find the spirit of Christopher Reeve's spirit in there.
I couldn't agree more with that last statement. Yeah, that
You know,
I think if you're gonna do anything, you've gotta do a modern take on Reeves' Superman. Yeah, which is Superman, right? It's the Superman everybody loves. Don't stray too far away from. You could literally do just a reboot of that story in modern day, right?
Yeah.
And you'd still bring back the John Williams soundtrack, bring in a fresh new face, Margot Kidder, Christopher Reeve. You bring in the new generation, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, right? You bring in a Gene Hackman like Oscar caliber actor to play, or not even Lex Luthor doesn't have to be the villain; it can be anybody. But it does have to be somebody within the DC. Maybe you could even do Darkseid. Who knows? Darkseid in that kind of story framework would work really well, actually, right? But Darkseid's already been introduced as sort of the Superman baddie in so many different stories throughout comic books. It makes sense to do Darkseid, but it could be really anybody. But somebody compelling. The villain has to be compelling for this Superman movie to work, because that's the third element. You have Lois, you have Clark. You don't necessarily need the Justice League yet, right? You don't need Justice League popping in for a cameo in a Superman movie.
Yeah, Brainiac would be awesome. Yeah,
Brainiac would be awesome. Yeah, but I see Brainiac as sort of like a robot version of Lex Luthor, right? He's not all that different from what Lex Luthor represents. So it's kind of like you have Lex Luthor and you have Brainiac. But yeah, even Brainiac would be, I think, a great character as the main antagonist. Be great.
I mean, I could even have a Lex Luthor be Superman's friend at first.
Which is what Smallville was, right?
Yeah.
I love Smallville. I watched that religiously.
Yeah, but make it a little. I mean, Jim Lee's design is still pretty bright. It's not when he draws Batman, he draws dark, but when he draws Superman, he draws pretty bright, shiny, and it, that essence has to be there. No more brooding Superman, not until the end. Okay, I mean, no more brooding Superman. You know, let Superman be Superman. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, again, I think the best way to do Superman is just redo the Christopher Reeves version, and then as a sequel, then you can put him into some, like, I guess, multiverse stuff, or introduce some of the DC Justice League, do a crossover, but establish the character, establish why we love him first, and then move forward with the world building. Because again, the world building starts around Superman. I'm glad they got that right. At least they've recognized, hey, if we're going to build the DCU, we really have to start with Superman first. So everything's going to be built around. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing they may bring back the actor who played Lex in Smallville. He's aged quite a bit now, and there's some rumors of the actor that they're thinking of getting to play this new Superman. He looks a lot like the guy who played Superman in Smallville. they look a lot alike. So I don't know if they're going to go the Lana Lang to Lois Lane route. Who knows? That could be an interesting dynamic as well.
you know, one thing that really pissed me off on Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, was Lois Lane wasn't very likable for me.
Oh, you didn't like Margot Kidder?
Yeah, I didn't like her.
Because she smoked?
Not only that, she was pretty shitty to Clark Kent, and yeah, she was pretty shitty to Clark Kent, right? So,
well, that's that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
but you're, for example, I guess you're referring in the comic books where she falls in love with Clark first, right? In the late, if we're looking at the later,
I don't know if Lois Lane fall in love with Clark first, but she was still nice to him. I mean, the thing is, when that movie, the Christopher Reeve, when they introduced Lana Lang, I like Lana Lang better. Because he feels so. Lana and Lang love Clark Kent, you know.
In Superman 3, you're talking about Superman 3.
Was it Superman 3 when they introduced Lana Lang?
Yeah.
I just she loves Clark Kent. That's why I go, okay, that's the girl. If I was a
she's his first love, yeah. Lana's first love.
We will choose Lana Lang, not Lois Lane.
No, I mean, yeah, Superman's loves are what? Lana Lang, Lois Lane, and then Wonder Woman, right? Like a lot of the modern books now have him.
That's a New 52, yeah.
Yeah, have him and I think that makes sense as well. I wouldn't mind seeing him with Diana, actually, to be honest, because they make a good super couple, right? But yeah, like Lois, it's Lois and Clark, really. That's where the love exists, right?
Yeah.
Because they work as colleagues, and that's where the human relationship of the two characters really. But you're right. She's not very nice to Clark in the movie, but I thought the love story in the Donner film was really, like, their on-screen chemistry was really good. Yeah, I did like that. Like Margot Kidder and Christopher Reeve, when they were in those, like, with the the Superman.
She was totally Lois Lane when she was with Superman, okay? But when she was with Clark, she was not.
She's not. Yeah, that was what made the dynamic. The fact that she was in love with Superman, and then Clark was just the guy at work. But looking past, so let's assume Superman's a success. Now you got to start doing the world building, and they could bring in the Trinity. That's going to be there. Batman, Wonder Woman are key pieces of the that foundation. So we got Superman, we've got the
Hey,
Trinity,
buddy.
and then really outside of that is anyone's guess. Will it be Green Lantern? If so, will it be Guy Gardner? Will it be um,
You gotta bring up Flash first.
oh yeah, you got to bring it. So I think at some point we have to talk about what, because James Gunn likes to, I think he works best when he's working with characters that aren't so well established, right? I think he's going to do something different. I think he's going to try to bring in like a character who most audiences will be like, oh wow, great, like kind of like to build up some anticipation where we, us comic book fans, will know, oh okay, that was a great choice. It'll be like a larger mass audience won't know, will see a character for the first time, right, and be like, well, and so that's what I'm kind of looking forward to, actually. I think there's a lot of speculation on what book, what creative team, what story arc he'll bring, which characters he'll bring. And I think that's where the fun is right now at this particular moment. If you're not buying DC books, if you're not playing the spec game on the James Gunn DCU.
Okay,
then,
you mean, okay, let me do some wide shot one then, okay?
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to see this because that's why I'm doing it. But the reason I like this, this obscure superhero group called Freedom Fighters. They're from Earth 2, okay? And they imagine basically what if Earth 2, what if Nazi took over, and what if Nazi won, and the superheroes are fighting for freedom in Earth 2. So that interaction seems like a pretty appropriate interaction right now with how divisive we are right now yeah, so what if they bring some of that element into the, once the Superman is all developed, that this is something I have to, so
I wouldn't mind Superman. I wouldn't mind Superman going and beating some putting down fascist regimes. I wouldn't mind that, as long as he wasn't like just killing just the bad people, not the innocent people. But
I just like to see what would happen if the fascist dictators have won out. I don't want to act like America or Democrat is a perfect, but I wonder what if that particular group of people have won out? How can we get to the point where we really appreciate what we got? Seems like we're not appreciating what we got right now. So, I would like to see that. Just imagine, put yourself in the world where, just be able to, do some walkthrough, do some little walkthrough in this different universe where a lot of our rights has been taken away, just things that we take it for granted is not there anymore. Just imagine some kind of dystopian society kind of stuff.
I'm gonna share with you my theory. I was gonna save this for Gary's show.
Okay. Well, you can say anything. This is 119 right now. Nobody's going to watch at this end of the video.
Exactly.
except for the guys in the chat room.
Exactly. Hang on. Let me get the other book.
Yeah, that would be. Oh boy, that would be horrible. That would be horrible.
Okay.
We could be in a worldwide North Korea.
So I'll tell you my theory about where DC is going to go. If I'm in the boardroom, or I guess, what is it, what do you call it? The strategic room. What do you call the strategic room? The
SAC command center. Command center.
The command center.
Uh,
Anyway, if you're in the room where you're making the game plan for DCU, you got to look at what Marvel's doing and how we can do something similar, right? We got to build the world out first. And everybody knows this is where Marvel is headed. If you talk about a story arc and a peak, like the peak, where are we headed? Phase 6, phase 7, whatever. What's the end crossover event that we're going to showcase? And that's Secret Wars. We're going to get to this image.
okay.
Right?
Everything. That's a reasonable.
This is not spec anymore. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to get the black suit Spidey. We're going to get Tom Holland doing the black suit Spidey. And it's going to be in the Secret Wars. And that's going to create this entire. Now, will it be this exact same origin story? No, they're probably going to put a twist on it. But we've already got what's his name? The Venom, the Tom. I'm blanking on his name. The Tom Arnold. I don't want to say Arnold.
The Venom guy, Tom, whatever his name.
Yeah. The Venom guy, right? We already have him in the arc of Marvel, so we know Venom and Spider-Man are going to meet. There's probably going to be an exchange of the suit, the symbiote, and we're going to see the black suit. So
keep on talking. I'm going to go get me a beer.
Yeah. So I think if you're looking at, if this is if this is Marvel's sort of big event, comic book event of the Copper Age, DC's response to the Secret Wars was Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, there's been a lot of Crisis events, so we know which Crisis event will it be. Well, I think it's got to involve aspects of this original story by Marv Wolfman, right? So will this be the sort of the event for the Crisis, the death of Supergirl? It would be a compelling and very different outcome and story for that arc. But I think that could be something where, hey, this is where we're headed, right?
But you did say he's consulting Jim Lee right now.
He's consulting Jim Lee for all the DC books from the entire DC catalog of what to do.
Is he sort of directing? Hey, this is the universe I'm going to create. Direct your universe that way, or is he saying, "Hey, the universe that you set up here, I like that. I'm going to try to move it this way." Which way is he going with this?
I think he's got to go back. I think he's got to go back and draw upon what's already there.
Well, yeah, of course.
And then when they world build, DC can, because I mean, I don't think you can necessarily have DC write out something in time for
all the movies
James
to happen.
Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn. So he's basically consulting with. He's saying, "Hey, Jim, I want your opinion. You know DC. You've been running DC. You've read these books. What do you think I should do? What are the characters I should write?"
I haven't seen the Infinite Crisis. Looks like they were going to go with the Flash. What was that? They were going to flip the universe with the Flash movie, right? What's that called? What's that Flash comic book called?
Flash. you mean this one?
Where he
There's a
goes back
Flash.
in, where he goes back in time and
Oh
resets.
yeah. That was also Crisis, wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought that was New 52.
Was
Hold
that New
on.
52?
Let me.
You're
Hold
right.
on.
That's New 52.
Let me go get the book. I forgot the. What the.
That would be, I think, we were just talking about that, where the Nazis or the fascists win, and the characters are dealing with that reality. That would be a fun one as well. I think, in
Flashpoint.
terms, what was it?
It's not new. Yeah. Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
So this wasn't New 52 book, was it?
That was a New 52 book.
It's a 2011 book. Flashpoint.
That's New 52, right? Yeah.
Is it New 52?
That's what kicks off the New 52, right?
I don't know. Does it? All right, Sleepy, tell us. So 2011, July 2011 is when this one came out.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, Flashpoint.
That would be another good one to bring.
But I think that's what they were going to do. Since he canceled this, looks like he might not go this way. Didn't he not cancel Flash movie? James Gunn? Did he not?
No, they
Flash
didn't
is
mention
coming
anything.
out?
The one with the but is the one coming out Flashpoint
Yeah, they were going to do Flashpoint.
with the character with the guy who's having all the issues?
Yeah, that guy with all the issues.
That was supposed to be Flashpoint, though.
I think so.
That's kind of disappointing to learn. Because I wasn't really keen on that guy playing Flash. I mean, I know Flash is supposed to be a little bit of a smart aleck and all that, but I would love to see Flashpoint. I just wouldn't want to see it done
By him?
by him necessarily.
Well, one thing is that it is resetting the universe. You could use it to reset the universe. Right?
Yeah. I think, but I mean, you wouldn't want to bring Flashpoint in because we're talking about world building, right? So we have to establish like some characters first, and then you'd bring in like an event like Flashpoint or something, right? So,
I mean, if they cancel this,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like if we're gonna reset with the James Gunn, yeah,
because I don't know if he canceled this or not. If he canceled this, that means he's not going to go this route.
He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going to go to.
I think they've canceled it not necessarily because of that story, but because of, again, the actor. I think, right?
I don't know what I mean. He canceled what? He canceled James. I mean, all those Batman, Superman. I mean, he canceled all those. Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman first movie, and
I was disappointed in that cancel.
Aquaman. I love the Aquaman movie.
You're talking about Zack Snyder's. Yeah.
After Aquaman movie, I thought because it gave a sign of a warlord in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he went into this center of the world, you know, the Middle Earth. I thought they're going to introduce a warlord. But when he he's canceling everything. I don't know if he's going to bring out a warlord, you know. So
yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you could do it. I think you could go a lot of routes. You could, again, I think this is my theory. I think this is one avenue they could pursue. This could be the where they're headed, right? In terms of a multiverse with where you bring in all the DC universe, And so who's going to be part of that DC universe? Like, how are you going to build? And you just have to introduce a lot of teams.
Ben is saying so far Flashpoint is still going to happen.
Okay.
So he may be using that to just flip the universe, just reset the universe then.
Reset the universe.
Yeah, use that. It may not reset the
as a starting point.
This is the New 52. If this resets to New 52, maybe New 52 stories will come out.
Yeah, but everybody hated the New 52.
Yeah, well, not everything of the New 52.
Yeah,
some of them were pretty popular, but the whole universe was a disaster.
I wouldn't mind seeing New 52 Justice League. That wouldn't.
You get to see Diana and Superman hook up there.
Yeah. But then that kind of squashes our initial. I mean, okay, again, it's just the sequencing of it. We want to see a Superman movie where they replay what we love about it, right? Just a reboot of the 70s Superman movie, right? The Christopher Reeve movie. I would love to see them introduce Supergirl
in 2023. So
Supergirl as well.
Yeah, I would like to see Supergirl.
Yeah. You definitely have to have the core Justice League members. So we're talking Green Lantern, Flash, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, right? That's the core Justice League members.
Is it Aquaman?
And Aquaman, correct. And Aquaman. Those are the core guys, right? Along with possibly some other members. I think that's where that's
reason why I brought up Freedom Fighter because of James Gunn. Because I mean, Marvel bringing out Guardian of Galaxy. It's like a Marvel bringing out Guardian of Galaxy, right? just out of nowhere, something people, they're not. I would have never imagined Guardian of Galaxy making a hit like that. So
yeah. Well, they've already established Dr. Fate, right?
That's from a JSC. They might bring JSC out, a lot of JSC, but again, that's in Black Adam movie.
Mm-hmm.
JSC was in there.
There's rumors about Lobo, right?
Yeah, someone mentioned Lobo here.
I think Lobo would be, a good addition. So, if they bring in all these characters and they do them right,
if they mention Lobo, isn't Lobo being touted as a new film villain? So,
well, he wouldn't necessarily. He's kind of like an anti-hero, right? In that sense, he's not really a superhero.
Okay, one thing that I do want DC to do, that Marvel is doing, that I don't like, is that make the villains really real villains. Just vicious, evil. No grand purpose. I mean, I understand the complexity of having villain that seems like a hero, but just make it a little black and white, just
like a doomsday.
Yeah, just
a guy and like dead set on killing everybody.
That was just an evil mind. Just evil mind, all self-centered person. There's no, I mean, because that obviously that kind of people exist in this world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people always don't have that grand purpose. They're just self-centered person. They just only care about themselves, and just somebody that will never change. Will stay evil. There's no redeeming quality about them.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that Doomsday would make a good villain in Superman.
But Doomsday has already been done. Right?
In movies, has it?
Yeah. Superman, he got killed and everything.
No, no. I mean, but in the DC, it hasn't been in movies though. It's only been in the comic books.
Well, what the hell, Sam Doomsday? Justice League? He
Oh,
was,
did they bring? Is that how Superman died?
yeah.
Oh, they did bring Doomsday. I didn't watch that one. The one with the Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that Superman.
You
Okay,
didn't
so
watch,
it was Doomsday.
yeah,
They
that
did
was
bring in
Doomsday. Yeah.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they hadn't brought him in. What was he? Was he a good? Was it a good story? No.
I mean, Jack Snyder made it a little bit better, but they could have done much better. Yeah.
I gotta go look at that scene.
I mean,
I'm very
again,
curious.
James Gunn is James Gunn is not liking all the things that's been done. He's not working on what they did before. He's not building
Yeah.
on that, right? So
I gotta admit, I wasn't a fan of the Zack Snyder Justice League.
you're not a fan of that cut, okay?
I was not a fan. Um, I was not a fan of uh, the Superman. What is it? The Henry Cavill Superman either. I had a lot of. I prefer a Brandon Ruth Superman to
Huh?
Henry Cavill Superman. To be honest,
Who?
I wouldn't mind seeing Brandon Ruth. Remember Superman in 2002? Was it 2003?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You
Yeah,
remember that one?
that one.
I like that movie. I actually liked it.
Hmm.
Um, I did not like the Henry Cavill version. Um,
It was too broody, and
yeah,
the
it
one
was not.
really didn't make sense is how they
The
kill off.
soundtrack wasn't good. You know, it was like
I didn't
it,
like how he killed off. What's the Clark Kent's father? Something Kent.
Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, I didn't like how they killed him off. Oh, you can show off your superpower. You cannot save me.
Yeah,
I
it was kind
want
of like
to
a whole
die.
Spider-Man
Come
vibe
on,
there.
man.
Yeah, come
Come on,
on,
man.
man. Um, and what was it? The General Zod. Yeah, the Zod character was like that fight scene. It just wasn't well done, and I don't know. It just wasn't a good movie. So when Zack Snyder came out with Ben Affleck Batman, I was just like, whatever. Like that's almost his worst. That's
Well,
almost worst.
I don't know which one. He got cut away from making the movie. Justice
Yeah,
League. It
yeah,
was released by someone else. I forgot. And then Jack Snyder fixed it and
yeah,
released it on a stream. I really,
yeah.
I really like
Yeah,
that one,
you like
but
the Zack Snyder cut?
yeah, I like the Jack Snyder cut.
Okay.
It introduced characters like bring back Cyborg, introduce characters like even uh, the Green guy, Martian
Rush
Man.
Manhunter. Mhm,
Josh Whedon finished it right on the first one. But I
mhm.
like the Jack Snyder cut.
They even brought out Deathstroke, right? In the Zack Snyder cut, or was he there from the beginning?
But I mean, I didn't mind the first one either. But yeah, I mean, it just
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
great. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't great.
Superman it never was Superman to begin with. You know, they went to Superman was just too broody all throughout the series. It was just too broody. I mean, I get the this superhuman being living in our society, trying to just justify his existence. How does he not use it to rule all of us? He could easily become a dictator, right? I mean, I get all that, the complex story that people coming up with, but I just want to see simple, Boy Scout Superman. I know it's a simple story, but let's start with that first.
No, I completely agree with you, and I don't think it's. I don't think you need to like.
I like Jack Snyder film better than the Josh Whedon one. myself. Now, the only thing that I didn't like about Jack Snyder is that he wanted to make Superman the black suit Superman. I think he wanted to do that part, you know. But
It is a cool suit. I got to admit, Black
it
Suit
is awesome
Superman
looking suit. But
is a cool looking suit. But
I don't think we were ready for. I wasn't ready for that yet. I wanted to see Old Scott Superman first.
Yeah, we need to see the. So I mean, if you're talking about suits, you can't redesign, and you shouldn't, because they did the redesign where he was in the no underwear, right? They just did the no underwear suit.
You know,
just like
when they should have done the black suit Superman, when Henry Cavill had that freaking beard. I mean, that's when they should have done it. I mean,
oh yeah. That would have looked good, actually. But anyway, I mean, whether you love or hate Zack Snyder or whatever, they brought in a new guy, James Gunn. He's gonna recreate. He's basically starting from ground zero.
I mean, I wish him luck. I think he's. I wish him luck, but I think he's again, like I mean, the comic book went through the same thing, right? They tried to reboot from the classic to one world, and then they went to DC 52. Then they did the rebirth. I mean,
yeah. Here's where I think DC is actually better in terms of their comic book IP. If you look at Marvel comic book IP, okay, and you look at DC comic book IP, and you look at a structure like crossovers, like crossover events where you bring in different villains, different superheroes, and you look at the catalog of villains and catalog of heroes, DC is actually better positioned to make comic book, like, a series of comic book movies, like have each individual franchise brand, the Hall of Justice versus the Legion of Doom, right? Like you could literally just do Doom villains, and you could do Hall of Justice superhero, like just do individual stories and then tie them all together in one, like Hall of Justice versus Legion. Like it's actually better positioned for this kind of vision. It's just they just never. Now they're admitting defeat when they bring in a guy like James Gunn and he introduces a movie map that's almost exactly like Marvel's, right? At these comic book events, that's basically waving the white flag and saying, okay, you guys won. We're going to do what you do, but we're going to do it better now. And I think that's a real possibility. They can do it better than Marvel if they just decide, hey, you know what? We're going to go the same route because that formula works.
Well, the thing is that one thing. I mean, normally that's what happens, right? When somebody invents something, let's say somebody invents something new, somebody takes that invention and go, yeah, I can make that better. And normally the person who succeeded is the guy who made it better, like. But
it's too far too late.
I think we are getting superhero movie fatigue. We've been how long have you been predicting, hey, superhero movie fatigue is gonna come soon? How long you been predicting that? I know I have for many years. I say superhero movie fatigue is gonna come soon. I love it. I love watching superhero.
I will never get tired of it.
I mean, I want to just keep on continuing, but I'm inside of me saying there's gonna be fatigue. I mean, that fatigue is gonna, gosh, whatever goes up, it's gonna come down someday, right? I mean,
yeah. But not with Superman. I feel like Superman's a movie, like you play that theme song, you have him, flying with the American flag, or like just catching a common thug or criminal off the street.
I mean, I'm a cheerleader for that. I'm cheerleader for that. But inside me saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah. The fatigue, and Marvel is showing the fatigue right now with their phase 2.
Yeah.
Right. Even Marvel is showing the fatigue.
Well, they're learning you can't please like all these fans, right? You can't please all these hardcore fans, and they're running into that now. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
and
little bit.
also, I mean, also it is a, I mean, definitely there might be a fatigue factor there, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like a FOMO. DC came into the game a little bit too late. You know, everybody already bought it and got tired of it.
Yeah,
So I mean, James Gunn has a huge challenge in his hand.
he does. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm cheering for him. I'm, you know, I I like Jack Snyder. I wish they would see through Jack Snyder's vision. You know, I was cheering for that. I was like, hey, you guys don't have much time. You guys don't have much time. Just go for it. Just, you failed once, try it again. You know, and just keep on build on that. You know, just keep on building on it, right? Instead of just wiping slate and starting over again. Because to me, that fatigue is coming soon. It should have happened already. and and DC is like, oh, we're gonna scratch over. So I see Marvel succeeding and coming down, and I see DC going, okay, scratch this, okay, scratch this, okay, scratch this, okay, now we're gonna ready to build this thing mountain, but uh Marvel is coming down, and I'm going, oh man, you should have just stuck with the one thing and kept going. You know, that's
I
what.
I kind of share. So I at a point also thought DC was in a place where they can't ever catch Marvel. They should just give up. They should stop. But it's like Warner Brothers is a huge movie studio. DC is a huge publishing company. It's like you just have you. They're going to keep doing. They have all the capital in the world. They're going to do it until they get it right. And to be honest, I think they put a lot of faith in Zack Snyder that they thought they'd get it right. It didn't. It wasn't to
I mean,
be.
Zack Snyder has a pretty good fan base too. So
Oh yeah, yeah. And again, they're entertaining films. It's just like you need a strategic map. And I think Zack Snyder putting everything, all eggs in one basket to kind of get us to a place wasn't necessarily the road to take. I think the way James, again, you and I talked about it. You have to build a foundation. It starts with the Trinity, and world building and building out and bringing in. You just having a lot of standalone films, kind of like Marvel did way back when.
yeah, but the thing is, Marvel did away with the origin stories, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, basically, they say, hey, you already know who Spider-Man is. You already know who Captain America. Well, I guess they did the origin story of Captain America, but I mean, eventually they did
Doing
it.
doing a small version of an origin story within, yeah, when you
Yeah,
introduce, I think that's necessary. I think we don't. So that's a great thing. Of you met. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, I think you can introduce Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman in the context of like a preview to Justice League, right? Where you have
well, yeah,
maybe
that tragedy happened too. So yeah,
well, I mean, like where they come together in a crossover event movie, and then say, hey, you know what? Let's team up. Let's create the Justice League, and it's kind of like Zack Snyder's version, but a more formal sort of like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm here to save the day, and kind of like, and they're just fighting against like a big enemy. I think you could kind of transition it that way. Then you wipe Superman and Justice League in two movies. You wipe them out in two movies. And then from there, where you don't get fatigue, you can focus on like a Green Lantern, right? You can focus on a Green Lantern, or I guess you could, yeah, you'd have to do a Green Lantern standalone movie. You'd have to do um,
one thing every movie, Marvel movie, Superman, I mean DC movies, one thing these crossover movie uh, that took away from me was that when Spider-Man was in his own little story, right? You rarely see these other heroes. Or when Superman was in his little, you rarely see Batman. You rarely see, Wonder Woman. Same thing with Batman. So so when I'm reading these comic books, Superman is the hero. He's it. If a Batman, I'm reading, no other hero existed besides Batman. That's it, right? Then then you start reading multiple comic books and you go, oh, I would like to see Batman and Superman together. And when that first introduce you to that, you go, oh, that's so fun, right? That's not there.
Out there.
That's not there, right? But uh,
Which is why you'd have to do it transition into
they
it
can do that
rather
to
quickly.
me. They
Yeah.
cannot do that to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already gone through that. Um, I've already know that, hey, there's justice. That this universe has Justice League with everybody in it. I'm already in the X-Men universe where everybody's in it, along with the Avengers. Now, can Jack Snyder create these with the new generations of people? Oh, Batman, oh, Superman, and then when you finally see a crossover, oh, I love to see Batman and Superman together. Can he generate that already within our community? I just don't see that happening, right? I just, because I already know that Justice League exists along with the Teen Titans, and all those superheroes coexist together, and I'm already at that. Oh, the boys, we're already at that place. We know that all these guys exist together, but that crossover is no longer that interesting to me.
I didn't see the Matt Reeves Batman. I've heard a lot of good things about it though.
I really liked it myself.
Yeah.
I really liked
But
it.
I think the Batman movies are different in tenor, like they're different in tone. Um, like you could have everything revolve around Gotham, revolve around just the character, and not integrate the larger. They work as just kind of Batman movies,
And
right?
that's what I like about that particular Batman that was in there. It was like he existed by himself,
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't want to see that Matt Reeves Batman integrate into like a large. I think in terms of like I know, and that's what doesn't make sense, right? Like James Gunn has to figure out, okay, do we have a separate Matt Reeves Batman world and then a separate Batman in our James
then we
Gunn
got
DC?
two or three Jokers in there too, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, maybe we'll see the Matt Reeves Batman because I mean that was a huge success. That was DC's biggest like blockbuster hit, right? Um,
I would like
but
to. I
it's
would
so
love to see
dark.
a Superman movie, where he exists by himself for a while. I would like to see that.
You
But
can do that because Metropolis and Gotham, they're really sort of like polar opposites, right? They're like Metropolis has no crime, right? Superman's sort of the guardian of Metropolis. It's got low crime. It's like a futuristic, state of the art city. Whereas you have Gotham, and Gotham's more like
Brooklyn.
like South Central LA back in the 90s, right? It's just like it's
You have to be saying New York City is Gotham. I mean,
Yeah, of course, New York City's. Well, New York City's kind of Metropolis and Gotham together combined, but definitely, yeah. Like you'd say New York, Metropolis is Manhattan, and maybe New York is like the Bronx. um, but yeah, that's kind of like I guess how you could look at. You could have them in their own individual worlds and build their stories out, and then integrate them at some point. Um, but I think, in terms of So if we have a Superman standalone movie, I'm saying you don't necessarily need to build out, have a Wonder Woman standalone or have a Batman standalone, or even have a Flash and Aquaman standalone. Because we've already established, like you said, we've already established those characters. What you do is you just bring them in as a unit to fight a really big enemy at some point, whether that's Superman 2 or whether that's a Green Lantern standalone movie. I'm saying you gotta position some chess pieces, right? Which and you don't want to bring out the entire, like the entire army at once. You want to establish Superman. What's another character that you think is a legacy character?
Hawkman, Hawkgirl.
Hawkman? Hawkman, Hawkgirl, yeah. That occurs on an entirely different planet, right? So you could definitely have that. Green Lantern could be as also in a different universe, right? So you could have that.
Or Martian could be whole lot of story by himself. Martian Man.
That would be a great movie, right? Martian Manhunter would be a great standalone movie. So they've got some piece. I thought Captain Marvel would have been great, right? But apparently, Jack, it's the verdict is not out yet. Whether
I actually
James,
like Shazam movies.
I love the Shazam movie. It was a great Shazam movie.
I
It
like
was
it.
fun. It was fun. Yeah.
One complaint I have about Shazam movie is that when he turns to Shazam, he turns more childish than the kid.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's kind of, yeah, exactly. He's not really.
The kid is
It looks
more
like
mature
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
the Shazam. I'm going.
You don't make
Hey,
that connection. Yeah,
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 I'm
yeah.
saying, hey, if
Tone down
you
the
come down with your childish act, or you act more childish, kid. I mean,
yeah, yeah. Because he's kind of like depressed. He's like this depressed. His mother left him. Right. He's kind of
yeah,
depressed,
it'd
and then
be
he
more
turns
fitting.
into this sort of like
It'd be more
fun,
fitting if
like
his brother, he's a adopted brother. If he plays the Shazam, be more appropriate character, transition
yeah.
than
That's true.
that
That's
kid.
so
I mean,
true.
that's the only
No,
complaint
great,
I have with the
great
movie.
observation, though. That's a great observation.
So they need to bring the kid up to be a little more uh, outgoing and humorous, as
Uh-huh.
as the Suzanne, the adult character,
Yeah.
because that's where they're missing the whole personality change as the kid turns into Suzanne. So yeah,
I'm really disappointed. Black Adam. Haven't seen Black Adam yet. Have you?
yeah, I saw it. It was all right. It was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right.
I'm disappointed it didn't succeed though. I love Black Adam as a character.
New Suzanne is advertised here for release in March 23. I cannot wait for the worm to come up. Mastermind. Where's my mastermind?
Mastermind.
Mr. Mind. Is it Mr. Mind?
Green Arrow's another character that could be a legacy character.
Green Arrow, of course, is a legacy character.
Mhm.
The Green Arrow should be like a more about space-faring person.
Mhm.
He should be
Okay.
out there in space, protecting the space. They forget it.
I think if they do, so they have to have a focal point, like a point where all these lines intersect, right? And even though my theory is this should be it, it could be any number of things. Um, but what I would like to see is Legion of Doom versus and I know they've tried that. They've tried to bring in Manta. They've tried to bring in Sinestro. They've tried to bring in. Did they bring in Mister Freeze ever from the
Batman?
from the Flash movies? No, we haven't seen that yet, have we?
Mr. Freeze is Batman enemy.
Oh, not Mister Freeze. Who's the Flash?
The yellow guy?
No. Flash, the Freeze guy, the Ice. What's his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what
It's
you're
not.
talking about.
Yeah, it's not Batman's Mister Freeze. It's another.
Yeah, he's blue, white, blue
Yeah,
winter
the
jacket,
hood. It looks like
Eskimo.
Han. Yeah, he has a Han
Yeah,
Solo
yeah,
suit on,
yeah. I
the
know what you're
hot
talking
suit.
about.
But you know what I mean, like to bring in all the villains as well, and have the super, like kind of like it just be a good. It would just be some nostalgic for me since I watched those cartoons. I love those cartoons. That was like the best thing on Saturday morning, right? The Hall of Justice versus the Legion of Doom. Um, but to have that would just be great. So Lex Luthor would be the leader of these like super villains, and I mean it's cheesy. Obviously, you can't have that exact. It's just too campy and cheesy to do like a one-on-one, like literally like they're coming in like this, right? Uh, but I think the what's not cheesy are those characters and how they play in the larger sort of scheme of crossover events. Like you could literally have the Legion of Doom with this diabolical plot to like destroy all the superheroes, right? You can literally have that kind of story uh, where it's done really uh, dramatically and with a lot of action. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents of where I hope DCU lands, but we'll just have to see how. We'll just have put faith in
Whatever he
James
does, I'm
Gunn.
gonna cheer for it. Because I just want DC to just keep on making movies. I mean, I want all these guys to keep on making movies. I hope that fatigue never comes, but I've seen these fatigue come and go. I mean, it has to come and go. It has to come and go.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
cowboy movies. These cowboy movies been out for a long, long time, and then it fatigued out, and they don't no longer make cowboy movies, Western movies, like or uh, James Bond. Those spy espionage movies, they came, it was popular. Then you know, it, these things come and go. Horror movies. I mean, now they're making a huge comeback on horror movies. Uh, so Marvel Universe going after horror movies, that might be a good strategy. See, to me,
mm,
Marvel is always ahead of the game, whereas DC is trying to figure out, trying to already what's already been done and is doing it. So, I think horror movies going to go up because I think when superhero movies fatigue out, there's another cycle of horror movies coming up.
mhm.
So, yeah, and I mean, they could do some mental. I mean, to me, like a Spectra in DC Spectra, and some of the horror comic book.
Spectre, mhm.
Yeah, some of these little, anthologies. Just
Swamp Thing.
yeah, they could just explore where no one has explored before. It's instead of just doing what someone already did, trying to make it better. But I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah,
What do you think of? So, do you have faith in James Gunn, or are you just kind of waiting and seeing to see what happens?
I'm just rooting for him, but I just don't think he's able to do it.
Mm,
I just don't think he can able to.
he's not
Not
the guy.
no, it's not that. I don't think even what's his name could do it. Kevin Feige can do it.
Kevin Feige couldn't do it. Kevin Feige couldn't recreate what he did in Marvel at
Yeah, I don't
DC.
think. Yeah, I don't think he can even
Oh, because
because
because of what this just the timing or the situation they're in.
just the Gangnam song, Gangnam Style guy. He did
Mhm.
that one hit. He can do it again. He cannot
Oh,
make that. He cannot. Once you
yeah,
hit that,
yeah,
once you hit that plateau, you can. All you have is coming down,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I just like you think 2020 will happen again in comic book industry, that big boom, not for a long, long time, not for a long,
Not for a while.
yeah. So I just think that we had our, you know thank you for all the fishes. It's time to go. I I think we're there, but I'm hoping it will last. I'll cheer for it to last because I'm a huge comic book fan, comic book movie fan. I want, even if they, nobody like it, I'll go ahead and go watch it, and support the movie. But I just don't think the days of where people are lining up for the movie, those days are gone. For the, I mean, I'm just talking to you. I realize, what, you haven't watched this, you haven't watched that.
Yeah.
that that
I'm not a movie. I'm not in a position to really, because we got a very young child, so it's not like we can leave him at home or have a baby. We're not going to leave him at home. Maybe when he becomes of age to watch those movies with me, which is probably 10 years out, right?
then you're gonna watch like Disney movies, Toy Story movies. I mean, you're gonna watch these kind of movies
Yeah,
appropriate for
not the comic book
kid, not
movies.
for
Yeah,
you, but not for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. And my wife doesn't want to watch like Black Adam. She's like, she doesn't want to spend $20 to go watch Black Adam. So I've been watching them when they come out on DVD and stuff like that. But I got to tell you, I kind of in the same boat as everybody else. DC movies hasn't really hyped me up to go want to watch them. But at the same time, I don't feel that way about Marvel either. I don't feel like necessarily a
That's what I'm.
Marvel.
That's my position.
Yeah,
The DC movies are just as good or bad as Marvel movies are.
yeah, yeah,
That's my position. I
yeah,
mean, don't try to tell me that Marvel movies are that much better. I watch these movies, and I'm going. I mean, they're the same
yeah,
quality, same kind of storyline. I mean,
yeah,
it, I mean, they all does visually well. I mean, they all do visually well. I mean,
yeah.
so
I gotta admit though, Tom Holland Spider-Man No Way Home. I like it. I actually like that the way Sony Pictures has done um, the Spider-Man,
well,
and I also like the Deadpool movies. The Deadpool movies are really fun,
I mean,
but they're not they're
enjoy the
not
heck
part of
out of
the MCU.
I
They're
enjoy
not
the heck
really
out of
MCU.
Spider-Man, but also you got to realize this: that movie will not age well.
Hmm.
Imagine
I agree.
yourself, you
I
you're
agree.
you're a kid. Imagine you being your kid, right? 10 years later, he's gonna go watch Spider-Man movie. That movie that we were talking about, that we really enjoyed. What does he have to? What does he have to do to like that movie? He has to watch all the Spider-Man movies that existed out there, build a nostalgia for it, right? He has to watch all the Marvel movies. Then when you finally watch that movie, you go, oh, and it has to be like 10 years later, like 20 years later, so that you can build on that nostalgia. I want to remember when I first watched that in 10 years ago. That that movie is already aged.
Hmm.
It will not stand alone.
Hmm.
That movie will not stand alone.
Yeah, great point.
So yeah, I enjoy the heck out of it, right? I love seeing the first Spider-Man come. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man character. So I love seeing him come out there. I mean, I even love seeing Andrew Garfield coming out there. I love all that three guys, acting. I just loved it, and
But
I
you
think
gotta
I
kind
love
of
the.
understand, yeah,
We had to
understand what
watch
happened
all.
before. Yeah,
We had to build the nostalgia from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and uh, that movie 10 years from now, whoever all the kids who are watching it for the first time, uh, uh, what? Why were people clapping when Spider-Man came out? Why were they clapping when? I don't get it. I don't get it. That that's so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's for the. It's just a popcorn movie. It's consumed, and once it's consumed, it's gone. It's not. I would enjoy it, but yeah, I don't know.
okay. I guess this is sort of a fun question to maybe take us out. Superman, red underpants or no? Should you wear the red underpants or no underpants?
I'm an old guy. I'm a classic guy. I'm going to say
Yeah, red underpants. Yeah. I am for Superman keeping the classic suit. You know, I think, having underpants on a suit is what a superhero is. You don't have to like make it military style or like, like what is Superman's underwear really gonna prevent him from beating bad guys? No.
People say no. People say no. People say no.
See this is where I think there's a generational divide.
Yeah. I'm an old guy. I'm a back short guy.
The underoos guy. Beefhead never wore underoos. He probably doesn't know what underoos are. Beefhead, do you know what underoos are?
I don't know what underoos are. What are you talking about?
Underoos. Yeah, you didn't wear underoos?
There's back short and the.
Oh no, yeah. Google search under OOS. UNDEROOS.
Oh yeah. Okay, I never wore those. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I never wore those.
You were maybe too old to wear them.
Yeah,
because they came out. I think they came out
not tight. Mine were like loose.
Okay, but everybody wore I as a kid, everybody had underoos.
Yeah.
Maybe not these days. Beefit, did you wear underoos? Nope.
Yeah, I wear long johns.
No, these aren't long johns.
These are long johns.
These are superhero themed underwear. It's basically Superman. You have the red underpants and the Superman t-shirt. Batman, you have the Batman underpants, the Batman logo on the. It was basically an underwear set for kids. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I didn't do those things.
Yeah. That's so that picture right there on YouTube, 80s underoos, Batman Hulk. Click on that one. Enlarge that one.
Batman Hulk?
No, that next one. That one right there. Right there. No, not that one. The one with the children, all the children.
This one?
If you go back, there's one with like all the kids there.
Oops.
Go back to the original page.
Yeah, I'm at the original page.
There it is, right there.
That one?
Yeah. This is my childhood right here. This is underoos.
So, Biffy, you're only 1 year younger than me. Yeah, I didn't do these things. This is not my time, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, you're born in 1964. So yeah, you weren't wearing underoos. You probably don't know what. I thought you were younger, Beefit.
Yeah, Beefit was just 1 year difference with me. So he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, so he was too old to wear these. But this underoos was like the thing as like a 7-year-old, 6-year-old. I had Superman, I had Batman, and I think I had the Flash as well. But when you wore them, you looked forward to putting on your underwear because when you wore them, you felt like your superhero. Because you have the same underpants as your superhero. So I'm all for superheroes wearing underpants.
Well, I have a theory on why the Superman, all these characters have a very tight suits on them. You know, the latex on them.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of artists want to show off their figure drawings, right?
Uh-huh.
But you can show them naked in comic books.
Yeah.
So clothing is really hard to draw. Also, it doesn't show off your figure drawing capability.
Yeah.
They won't be able to show off your figure drawings. how good you are at figure drawings. So they basically just put some lines at the at the sleeves and put a boots that seem to be just another fabric. It's just it's a quick way to draw a figure, show off that you can draw good figures, and then you could color the rest of them in not skin color, and they don't look naked. And you have to put underwear in it so that they look like they're not naked. You cannot put testicles or anything like that. So you have to put underwear on there. So yeah, that's why I think the Superman, all these superheroes have this latex custom, because artists has to show off their figure drawings. That's my theory, anyway. Well, I think that's it. Hey, Trev, what's up?
Hey, Trev, what's up? Good to see you guys. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. On 31st, I think Otaku and I are gonna show off we could broadcast on both our channel, right? And we're gonna show off our what we got in 31st. We wanna invite people over if they wanna come join. Anybody can join Otaku here?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do like a Christmas, like we did on 23rd.
Like a New Year's resolution type show, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. 31st. So look for us on 31st. Thanks for coming by. I think I'm gonna have to go.
All right.
I better not take anymore.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. See you soon.
Good night, everybody.